So for part 6 here on page 7, you should have already done this warm-up. If not, take a minute and do it. Okay, I want you to write down the complete procedure for how to brush your teeth. Step-by-step format should be clear, okay, and detailed. The why is in lab, you're going to be working on not only just writing lab procedures, you're also going to be doing some critique with them as well. So you need to make sure that you are writing them and understanding them to be so detailed that you could just go off of that. Your target for today is that given your task of something, okay, like brushing your teeth, you could write a very detailed procedure for it of how to do it step by step. That's super clear. If no one knows how to do it other than what you have in front of them, your procedure could get them through. Today's lesson, you don't really need to write much. Okay, so today's more about thinking about it and trying to think through so that you can practice it in a minute. Okay, we're not going to spend a ton of time on this because you're going to do it with every lab and we're going to hit it hard every single time. But I need to make sure that you understand that these procedures need to be very clear. So looking at this, when you write lab procedures, you need to be so detailed that if no one knew what you were talking about and you only had the procedure in front of you, you could do it exactly the way you want it to, which is going to be the case when you do some labs. You're not going to know what to do except to read the directions in front of you. So I want you to reread the procedure you wrote in the warm-up, okay? Now think about how clear was it. I want you to circle anything that you think was unclear, okay? So pretend you've never brushed your teeth before and all you have is those directions in front of you, okay? I want you to compare your procedure to one that I've written below, which is going to be fleshed out pretty well. There are spots that obviously can be even more clear, but if you think about what you have and compare it to this, I want to kind of see how detailed yours is versus the one that I wrote. So I've written, pick up the toothbrush with your right hand. So maybe you didn't talk about which hand to pick it up with, okay? Turn on the cold water all the way. So maybe you didn't talk about turning on water or which water to turn on or how much to turn it on. Wet your toothbrush by putting the toothbrush under the water for 2 seconds. So I could have written by your hand too by holding it there. But if you have under the water for 2 seconds, that's telling someone what to do with it and for how long, okay? Then take the cap off the toothbrush using your right hand. I'm sorry, off the toothpaste. That's my fault. Toothpaste using your right hand and put it on the counter, okay? So talking about what to do in the meantime, I could have written another step here that even said, set the toothbrush on the counter and then pick up the toothpaste, take the cap off of it using your right hand, put it on the counter. I was trying to save some space here because this could get really long. All right, and then put 2 centimeters of toothpaste on the toothbrush by putting the toothpaste on the bristles of the toothbrush right here. So when we talk about that, we want to make sure that you're thinking about where exactly you're putting something. So if you're telling someone like to make a peanut butter and jelly and you just say put jelly on the sandwich, people don't understand which part of the bread to put it on. Maybe they're putting it on the top. Maybe they're not even putting it on there at all, okay? Same kind of thing here. Set the toothbrush on the counter, being sure to have the bristles up so that no one puts the bristles down and then put your toothpaste there. The reason I had them set it on the counter is just to put the cap back on the toothpaste, okay, to make sure we didn't forget about that. Then you put your toothpaste on the counter. Take a toothbrush with your right hand, okay? Bring toothbrush with the toothpaste into your mouth and move the toothbrush back and forth in circles on teeth for 30 seconds, okay? Spit your toothpaste into the sink. Rinse the toothbrush under water for 2 seconds. Again, I could have put by holding it in your right hand. Then I want you to put the toothbrush on the counter and then turn off the water, okay? So in this procedure, I've had the water running the entire time, but you could have been more environmentally friendly and turned it off at different points in there too. But just think about this procedure versus the one that you have. And think about if you really could have written yours by any more detail in it, okay? You want to make sure that when we write them this year, they are very detailed. And I'm not sure how much you've worked with that in the past, but we will be working on it. So what I want you to practice is to write a procedure for how to send a text. You can assume you're using the phone that you have in front of you, okay? So if you've an iPhone, great, use that. If you've got an Android of some sort, great, use that, okay? But you should have it step by step that if someone only had your phone and these directions, they would know what to do.